This video shows how to set up RGBW pixels, or any combination thereof if it has 4 channels or 4 LEDs, in xLights using HolidayCoro or AlphaPix controllers. Now, first it should be noted that the controllers themselves are designed around an RGB or 3-channel pixel. Now, what do I mean by 3 channels? When you have a pixel, if it is RGB, you have a red, green, and a blue LED, and we need to control each of those individually. Thus, we have a DMX channel for each individual pixel because you have red, green, and blue comprising the total pixel. All of the interfaces through the web on the controllers are designed around that 3 channels. Now, that means that when you go into the design tool of the HinksPix, or if you use the test modes of either controller, when you select, for example, red as a test mode, it will not show red because you'll have an extra channel in there. Now, that does not mean that you cannot use a 4-channel, or for that matter, any number of channel pixel with xLights and a HolidayCoro controller. So here we're just going to go ahead and create a line, and we'll just put a line in here, and we'll take it as here RGBW. Now that's going to vary by your particular vendor. I'm going to put it as one string, 50 pixels. Now it says nodes per string. This is the number of physical pixels. So this would normally be the number of individual controlled sections. Now this may also be some sort of strip that has a 3010 type nomenclature, but assume that is the number of pixels. Now what we're going to do is scroll down here, and what we're going to go to is string properties, and then we're going to change off of RGB. So RGB, of course, being the ubiquitous normal standard. And we're going to go down here. We're going to skip past this 4-channel RGBW, and we're going to go down here to the W nodes here, you see. This is all the possible combinations of 4 letters in different orders. Now, check with your vendor to see what the order is. You may be calling them red, green, blue, white pixels, and they may be something like green, red, blue, white, or white, blue, red, green. So check with your vendor. If the colors are coming out wrong when you do test mode in xLights, then your color order is probably wrong. We'll just assume that you do have a truly red, green, blue, white ordered pixel. All right, so we'll select RGBW, and now we have our pixel. Now, let's go ahead and see what that looks like when we go in and map that using Visualizer in xLights. So we'll go down to our pixel here. Here's our RGBW, and we're just going to drag it onto port 1 here, assuming it's a direct SPI, so nothing complicated. This also works with long range. So I'm going to drop that in. Now what you see here is xLights is telling you that there are 50 pixels on this particular string, and that is true. There are 50 red, green, blue, white pixels, and that is 200 channels, so 50 times 4, as opposed to the normal 150 if it were red, green, blue. Now, why does this say 67 over here? Well, if we go ahead and pull up a calculator here, and we look at 50 times 3, we get 150. But if we take 67 times 3, we get 201. So there's some rounding here. That is the actual channels that go into controlling the RGB. Now, the reason you get this kind of rounding error and it doesn't come out exactly to 200, it's because xLights has got an assumption here again that the controller is designed around RGB pixels, and you've got a rounding error, and it doesn't say like 67.1 pixels. It actually has 67 to consume for that control. So that's how easy it is to configure those. Now, when you're doing your testing, again, go up here, go to Tools, Test, and whenever you're testing your outputs here, so you go to your model and you would find your RGBW pixel, and if we expand this RGBW pixel, we can see all the individual channels. And whenever you're doing test mode, you can't use this ABC all. You need to go red, green, blue, white when you're testing red, green, blue pixels, because xLights, again, kind of also assumes that you're using red, green, blue. Now, that said, we generally don't believe that for holiday lighting, in almost all cases, needs a white component, because we do have the ability to dial in specific strings to a particular color brightness. So you can adjust gamma and other factors within the pixel to tweak it to generate, let's say, the perfect white that you're expecting, a warm white or cool white, because typically a white component in a pixel is set at the factory so that you have it at a particular wavelength or color temperature in that particular pixel or output. So hopefully this is helpful, and if you ever have any questions, reach out to HolidayCoro at holidaycoro.com/contact us.